We are hanging out with the Sheepdogs, specifically Ewan and Ryan. You guys got the new, well, it's not really an album, it's an EP, I guess I should say, No Simple Things. Latest single, Keep On Loving You. We're jamming that one at the Edge. We are loving it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was great.
It's fun to put music out in a time where it felt like it took forever to do anything. I mean, everything kind of stopped. So it's very exciting to have new things out in the world.
Now, with the past year that's been kind of chaotic and crazy, a lot of the bands that we talk to have had to release their EPs or their albums or their singles through like Zoom, where it's, they're doing this with their bandmates and they're sending things and they're emailing things and they're going back and forth. You guys, and correct me if I'm wrong, you guys laid this entire thing down live.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. I mean, we kind of waited to see what we could do because we were about to record a record when the pandemic happened. We were in Saskatoon for the Junos and that was about to happen. And then the hammer came down, everything got shut down. But the next month we were supposed to go down to Portland and record a record. So right as this was happening, instead of all these plans, we had a tour at the Black Keys, all the stuff that was happening. So we waited and we were in Montreal for Canada Day doing a thing for the Canadian government that was supposed to be on Parliament Hill, but then became a virtual thing. And so we had the opportunity to be all in the same city together and be allowed to be together. And so we went to a studio and we recorded it live to tape, which was a cool experience, especially at a time we'd spent so much time apart wanting to play music, the longest we've ever spent as a band apart, not at least doing some sort of music in some capacity. So to do that and record it live was a pretty cool experience.
Do you guys find that you generally prefer that style of recording? Because I know, even without a pandemic, usually you lay down, just the drums, and then we'll do the guitar track. And do you guys prefer to kind of just throw it all down live together?
It's certainly quicker. It's good to do it that way because it's going to sound more together and there's like a good vibe to it. Also, you're not like, when you do everything separately, you're like just analyzing the Dickens out of every little thing you do, and then it's like, I don't know, you just kind of like are trying to make it too perfect, and if you just play it live, it's just got like just way more vibe.
Hey, we're the Sheepdogs. This is Keep On Loving You. 1, 2, 3, 4. I had you there. We had those days, but did we have those years? Do you remember when it all broke down? You went and ran your game all over town. Those nights were long and filled with tears, but like disaster for 1,000 years. And if you tell me that your love is true, I'm gonna keep on loving you. You got me dreaming of the summertime, and in the evening when I drink my wine. When we're apart, well, it's understood I'd be there with you, baby, if I could. Those nights were long and filled with tears, felt like disaster for 1,000 years. And if you tell me that your love is true, I'm gonna keep on loving you. It's all I can give, strong and true. There's no way to live alone without you. Weeping and carrying on, pacing to the breaking of dawn. Oh yeah. Those nights were long and filled with tears, but like disaster for 1,000 years. And if you tell me that your love is true, I'm gonna keep on loving you. I'll keep on loving you. I'll keep on loving you. Say it now.
Keep on loving you. That is the Sheepdogs. I wanted to talk about because right off the bat, lead track on this thing, it's called Rock and Roll, Ain't No Simple Thing. And there's a lot of talk about rock and roll in recent years. And I mean, I certainly notice things that, tick me off, where it's like, you look at, the Grammys and it's like, they seem to shove the rock categories under the carpet and move on. And you're lucky if you can even get a rock performance on them. And you have all these people saying that, rock and roll just isn't what it used to be. What is your take on that? What do you say to that when someone says rock and roll's dead? It's not what it used to be.
Well, I mean, it's in some ways, yeah, they're right. I mean, it's not what it used to be. It used to be the big bad genre that everybody paid attention to. Now it's a little more niche, but I mean, we play rock and roll for a living, and we see it on the people's faces everywhere we go, that it's very much alive and that it's something that people want, regardless of whether it's the dominant culture nowadays. So we're pretty proud to be keeping it alive with what we do and paying, homage to the classic era of rock and roll, the greatest era. But yeah, I mean, look, it's maybe not the beast that it once was, even back in the 90s, but it's never gonna die.
I think there's also something to be said about like rock music being like the best rock music comes at a time when it's not like, if it was the most popular and you had the people who were chasing it just for the money, those types of people are going to gravitate more towards like Cardi B or that
country music.
Yeah, or country music, right? And it's the fact that the people are doing it, I think, are doing it from an honest place, because you're not like buying mansions and things like that, unless you're Dave Grohl or something like that. But I think that what's interesting is that some of the best rock music, even like that, like early 70s, or even if you look at like the 90s, all sort of come off an era in which it's sort of like a counterculture type thing, in the sense that it's against sort of what, even in like early 2000s was kind of like a backlash towards what was popular, like Britney Spears and whatever. I'm trying to think of like Smash Mouth or something like that. Right. And then there was this whole resurgence of rock again that became really popular. So, I mean, I don't think rock's ever going to go away. It's just going to always sort of waver from between popularity. And I think it's always a good place when people who are doing it are doing honestly, rather than doing it just to be famous or get rich or something like that. Because, you should make the music you want to make, not just because you want to make money or something like that.
Yeah, no, it's very apparent that that's how you guys feel about it. I have to say too, you talk about paying, homage to the 70s scene, and it brings me so much joy right now. I need you to know, anytime I've ever had you guys into whatever station I'm working at, you guys always, you from top to tail, you were given that vibe. And I was so curious as to what I would see in your Zoom backgrounds. And boys, you did not disappoint. It's a vibe.
I got like a mustard chair and a record
collection. Yes. Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, it's perfect. I love it. All right. Well, we've got another performance from the whole band here. Acoustic version of Singing in the Band.
City when the lights go down, I get this feeling that I can't understand. She hears me singing and she turns around. I got the power in the palm of my hand. Yes, I've been working, yes I am, when I'm singing in the band. Night turns to day again. Drive the freeway just as fast as I can. When it's over and the crowd is gone, it's time for leaving all over again. Yes, I've been working, yes I am, and I'm singing in the band. Yes, I've been working, yes I am, yeah, when I'm singing in the band. drive the freeway just as fast as I can. When it's over and the crowd is gone, it's time for leaving all over again. Yes, I've been working, yes I am, when I'm singing in the band. Yes, I've been working, yes I am, yeah, when I'm singing in the band, yeah.
Cruising the website last night a little bit, and I got to ask, how does it feel to finally start seeing some bullet points underneath the tour dates?
Good and scary. I mean, I think we were always like kind of hopeful that things will, we've been disappointed lots over the last year of things we were hoping to happen and then they don't, but it's exciting. I mean, it's exciting to think about getting back out and playing. I mean, a lot of the stuff we've announced so far is in Europe and in 2022, which is still a ways away, but it's exciting, especially when you put out new music and you can't go and play those songs for people and get that response. So really excited about that for sure.
The only Canadian date so far is one in Regina. Is that, and I mean, it's obviously because different parts of the world are opening up and Canada has had its ups and downs. Is it a weird feeling though to be like, we're a Canadian band, we got this new music, we're so excited, but we can't play it here?
Yeah, it stinks.
Yeah, it does. Yes.
Well, I mean, like, every band dreams of starting their tour in Regina, I'm sure, no disrespect to our pals in Regina. Yeah, it's tough. What can you say? I mean, I could say woe is me, but everybody's got their hardships that come with this pandemic situation. The other thing is like, we don't want to just like rush into playing a bunch of shows and have to cancel them again or deal with the fallout of some sort of outbreak or the other thing is like, we want to play shows that feel good. Like we did some drive-in shows last year and they're okay. They're like they're a novelty, and we want to play shows that are fun to attend, that don't cost an arm and a leg, and then you're just kind of doing a novelty thing. Like it's got to make sense for our fans and for us. And I mean, we're still figuring this out, and until we can like pack the usual venues again, we've got to be careful with what we do.
Yeah, we want to do the full flavor version of what we do, not like the some sort of like watered down, not as good version. If we wait a few more months, we could do the full version of what we do.
Yeah, well, the vibe's going to be incredible too, right? All the fans that have just been jonesing to get there. It's gonna be fantastic. Tell me a bit about the song "Who," because we're going to go into that one next.
Sure, this is an oldie but a goodie. This particular version is an acoustic version, like the others you've been hearing, and it's just kind of cool because I'm not even sure how we started doing it this way, but we sort of like just started doing this acoustic version. I mean, literally because radio stations would ask us to come do acoustic versions of our songs, and like our songs kind of suck when they get changed into acoustic versions, just because we're like, that just changes the energy, and it's like, acoustic's good for like, if you're Dallas Green or something singing and strumming, but like for us, it's like we're more about that, like, guitars playing in harmony and like big groove and stuff. So but I used to always say about Who that it was inspired by the movie Alien vs. Predator, which had the great tagline, "No matter who wins, you lose."
Dig it. All right, it's Who by the Sheepdogs.
They were the Sheepdogs, and this is Who Acoustic. Who of them know how to keep from killing? Everybody's how it goes. I try to understand it, you try not to lose. But can you really win when you must pick and choose who do you belong to? Who do you belong to right now? Let's see the fellas keep talking, baby, with the up on my screen. Try to understand it, yeah, you know what I mean. You try to understand it, yeah, you try not to lose. But can you be the win when you must pick and choose? Who do you belong to? Who do you belong to right now, right now? Jim Ball, take us away. Bring it home. Who do you belong to?
All right, that was Who by the Sheepdogs. We're joined by Ryan and Ewan here chatting. We're getting ready to wrap things up. But first of all, I wanted to share, because what we were just talking about before the performance, about how you guys aren't really, I mean, you love playing all music, but you prefer the Sheepdog sound to not really be acoustic. And it reminded me of, it was years ago, a couple years ago, I was living in Vancouver and I can't remember the charity. There was a charity event and a couple of Canadian acts were signed up and they all kind of did their thing acoustically. And then you guys came on and you plugged in and you blew the roof off of the place. And I just remember it was the most exciting thing ever. After sitting through a couple of acoustic performances, everybody was like, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't mean to denigrate acoustic performances in general. It's just that it's like, I don't know. It'd be like like bringing in Michael Jordan and being like, hey, you can play basketball, but you're not allowed to jump, you know? Like, it's just like, it's like, it always makes me go, but if you just let us plug these guitars in, it'll sound so much better. But
yeah, that was one of those ones where it was like, anytime we can possibly, I mean, like we're talking about this after we've just done a thing where we played 3 acoustic versions of our songs. But yeah, I mean, we've always wanted to do it that way, and anytime we can kind of sneak it in, or even it became sometimes we would like show up with small little amps in hopes that we'd be able to at least, you know, plug in and do that. So I don't remember what that was for, but I like that's your memory of us. That's a solid memory versus like, remember that time the Sheepdogs played that song? Man, they don't sound the same as they normally do. So,
no, it was great. My friends and I laugh about it all the time. We were like, all of a sudden the Sheepdogs showed up and it was just like, yes.
That is a good reputation to have. I like that.
Last question. I got to talk about it. The Zoom shotgun. You guys shotgunning a beer over Zoom. Whose idea was that? Because that's so fun.
I guess it was my idea, I guess, but very beginning of the pandemic, we like had drinks one night on Zoom and like put it up on Facebook or something like that, and saying how fun it would be to try to get as many people as we possibly could to shotgun a beer with us to celebrate our record, because I think everyone's kind of tired of the usual kind of Zoom thing. So I just want to mix it up.
I think originally we were gonna try and get the world's largest like jam, like guitar acoustic jam along, so we'd have like 1,000 people playing their bad out of tune acoustic guitar, but we realized that was probably going to be a tall order.
Well, I like the shotgunning of the beer. Do we know, is there a world record for the largest Zoom shotgunning of beers? If there wasn't
There is
before,
now.
there is now. There is now.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was a perfect way to celebrate the new EP. Congratulations again, guys. It's always a pleasure chatting with you, hearing you guys perform, and I cannot tell you how badly we want to be able to just have you back in the Edge studio soon.
Well, let's do it soon, and we'll roll in and blow it up like we did at that charity event for you.
Perfect.
And then shotgun a beer.
And then shotgun a beer.